In this video, we're going to prep the drawing set for sheet A102, which is going to be the elevations drawing. To do that, I'm going to right-click on Sheets All, add a new sheet, choosing the 11 by 17 horizontal, and saying OK. Now I'm ready to start doing that. If you happen to have any sheets, so for example, I'm going to right-click here and say rename. So if you have anything, you can change the number of the drawing if you need, and you can also change the name to elevations, which is what I'm going to do. So this is now the elevations drawing. Before we start bringing views onto the sheet, I'm going to go to the east elevation. For the purpose of this video, I'm only going to demonstrate on one elevation, and then the rest of the techniques shown for this elevation will be applied to the others. In order to go through and do that, first thing we want to make sure that we have to prep our elevation view to fit on the sheet is we're going to want to make sure our view scale is set to, and if it is not, if it's in a different view scale, we're going to change to a 1/8 is equal to 1 foot scale. And that's going to end up, if you have your scaling in, for example, quarter, you're going to see the text goes smaller. If it was in 3/16, it gets a little larger. So it does affect the scaling of your text. Now, the one thing you will do before you also do anything else, you'll see the elevation lines, the level lines, are extended out way past the home. We are not going to be able to have that onto the sheet. So the one thing we're going to need to do is turn on the crop region box, or show crop region. And what I do is when I select the crop region, I'm going to go ahead and drag in the crop region, which is also going to help shorten some of the level lines. And I'm going to bring it till it's nice and right up against the home. We don't want to cut off any portions of the home. And I'm going to go around to all four sides of our view here and make sure that those are not going to get cut off. And I'm going to drag this a little closer. So that's going to help with our views. Now, the one thing we will have is you're going to see, so this helps with getting our crop region, so I can go ahead and turn that off when I'm ready. But the other thing that I'm going to do is I want to make sure I can read all my levels clearly. So for here, for example, the ceiling looks nice, is able to, that level's noted. But here I have some issues with the bottom of the footing and the top of the footing, as well as the top of the foundation wall and my finished floor. So this is how we can edit those to make those show up to be a little bit more clear. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select, and I'm just going to choose the bottom of the footing. On each one of these levels, you're going to see there is a little Z shape, which is called Add Elbow. And when you click on that, it's going to create a bend or an elbow here for us to be able to now extend out. The other thing too is this top of foundation wall is running into the building. So actually, if I select any of the levels, you're going to see there's a little blue dot that shows up right here on the edge, right on the corner of one of the quadrants on the bubble. So I'm going to go ahead and click, and I'm going to drag this out just a little bit. And even so, all these levels are, I'm going to go up to the ceiling one. You're going to see as I drag out, I'm able to move the text out. So I want to make sure the text is not running into the building. And now, and all these levels are aligned properly, so to make sure that we have everything nice and neat. Going back down here to the bottom of the footing level, now I've got these blue dots, to which I'm going to drag this top one back to where it starts, where the text starts, and I'm going to drag this one here, so that way it makes a nice 90-degree bend here. And if I need to, I can always extend this line down a little bit to give a little bit of room for that top of footing. I'm going to do a very similar process to the top of foundation wall. So when I select it, I can add the elbow, finished floor. I can also add the elbow. Now, with these back behind, it may be beneficial to see if I can, there's the top of the foundation wall level. So I'll drag that up just a little bit. Here's my finished floor. I'm going to drag it up above here, top of the foundation wall, And actually I could probably almost set this to be right in its proper position. Here is my finished floor, so I'll drag that out. And if I need, I kind of will also give it a little bit more room. So if needed, I could always drag these views out just a little bit more. This looks like I'm just crowding a little bit too much. So I'm just going to kind of drag this out. So now, utilizing the bend and utilizing the elbows, I'm able to go through and now have clear level titles being shown, and as well as making sure that they're all out here clearly written, not covering up any parts of the building. And then the other side, I'm also going to do this. The crop region will also, I'm going to select the top line, and there's a little blue dot at the end of the line. And I am going to shorten the level lines to where they're just coming a little bit past outside of the home. And that will now condense down this view to be nice and neat and ready to bring onto the drawing. So now once I have this ready, I can go ahead and go to the elevations drawing, dragging that east elevation onto the sheet. And now here is my view. I've done this already to the other views, so now I can go ahead and line them up onto the sheet. The only thing is I might have to make some adjustments in some of my other, you can see the west elevation did have, and you may see this in your view when you make an adjustment. So I'm going to double click here. Let me see if I can show the crop region. So let me bring the crop region in. When I shorten the lines on the east elevation, it did go through and mess with the level lines on the west. So that's just a simple crop region fix. And you'll see here is my west elevation. I'm going to double left click to deactivate the view. Everything's nice and neat. Drag the north elevation on. Again, try to make sure that these are kind of lined up nice and neat. And it does look like I need to adjust the line level. So if you have any of the view labels that need to be adjusted, select the top, select the line, then select the view. The blue dot is over here. I'm going to pull this back. And there we have our elevations drawing done and ready to go. And ready for, I always try to align, if I can, some of these view labels. And they can also be aligned separately from their views. But this video concludes on how to make adjustments to your elevation views, prep them for the A102 elevations drawing, and then bring the elevations drawing into your drawing set and prepare for the next sheet, which is going to be the floor plan.